hemisphere, especially in Europe as well as in North America, with the highest prevalences all over the world. We seem to be very lucky here at the small dragon because there's a low prevalence, and let's see if what's the case of that. And there's some problem with publication here because most of the countries of the small dragon do not have so many publications, mainly coming in Asia from India, from Korea, Japan, and China. So let's see if this is true. And there was a publication in 2019 that included Vietnam as well into the prevalence search. And I've picked 3 countries. First, my own home country, Germany, with about 80 million inhabitants. We have a prevalence of about 110,000 patients with new diagnosis of multiple sclerosis every year. And the same number is true for Canada, where I also had the privilege to work a couple of years. But they have a third least of the number of inhabitants that we have. So Vietnam, with almost 100 million people of inhabitants, has a prevalence of just 44,000. So this is much lower. So this is good for you. But since we also have a risk factor in the high economic status, and people are gaining wealth in this country because you're developing very well, you have a very high number of 40% of increase in the prevalence when you standardize this over the last 3 decades. So there's an increase of multiple sclerosis possibly in the next coming years. So this for the background, what's happening here, what I learned preparing this talk. And if you see, there was in 2017, there was even a meeting of the PACTRIMS, which is one of the regional societies that are dealing with diagnostics and treatment of multiple sclerosis all over the world. We, of course, are very, very active in the ACTRIMS, and we are meeting soon in September again in Stockholm, in Europe. So what can we do as radiologists? Or let me show you this. Vietnam is even chosen in the next time by the Australian MS Society for working against MS and getting more interest in the public sector for this disease, for treating disease, for research and research support. So we have to keep in mind it's a disease with a lifelong course, and we don't know its origin, and we have no cure. We have immuno-affecting therapies, a lot of them at the moment. We can do a good job by keeping patients more healthy in the later time. But it's also a disease that is the most frequent disease of younger adults and have a really important impact onto socioeconomic of the countries where it happens. All right, so what can we do as radiologists for multiple sclerosis? In 1860, Charcot, a French neurologist, was looking into brains of people that died of severe neurological diseases of different kinds. And he was not sure what that was. And he described so-called sclerose en plaques. So he found these brain changes all over the place in these patients that looked similar, but the patients were different. And he described it as sclerose en plaques, and later on histology developed and showed us that these plaques did not contain any myelin anymore because they were inflammatory